You know what? I think I might have actually been wrong about Liam Gallagher and John Squire's new single, Just Another Rainbow. I released a video last week giving my first impressions of the song, and my review seemed to divide opinion, to say the least. One thing became really apparent. The fan base is really divided on this new song. Some long-time Liam Gallagher fans, Oasis fans basically, absolutely despise the new song, and many long-time John Squire fans and Stone Roses fans alike are calling it refreshing 90s nostalgia, and some of the best guitar work John's ever done, even saying that the song sounds like it could have been written for the Stone Roses' second album, The Second Coming. It sounds that similar. And whilst it's not the Revolver level comeback single that I was personally hoping for, there is one aspect of the song that I think was overlooked. And it's something that fellow YouTuber James Hargreaves has picked up on. Now, if you haven't heard of James before or watched his channel, then I would seriously recommend giving it a watch. He gives so much great insight into the world of Oasis and Liam Gallagher solo material, and he covers Noel's solo material also. Well worth the watch. And in his review video of the new song, whilst I did disagree with some of his thoughts, he did mention one point that kind of got me thinking around how the song was put together and how I hadn't really talked about that in my review. But more on that later. Honestly, the comments on my review were just wild, and I'm glad that we can have some healthy and good old-fashioned debate on this song. Let me read a few out to you. Braddy's Rants 8407 says, I agree 100% with your assessment. Too many fanboys are saying that this is brilliant when it's shockingly arranged. Couple of good hooks, but it's a cliche root chord walked down by an ethereal vocal over the top. Been done a million times already. Would have been better covering the Don't Stop demo by Noel, superior beyond measure, which I kind of do agree with. Still don't think I can listen to the full 6 minutes of the song without getting a bit bored, to be honest. Mike Davies 8008 wrote, that was the problem with the second Seahorses album. John kind of took it over and didn't allow the songs to breathe. That's why it got shelved even though the debut album did well. Sort of agree with that as well. I made a point in my last video around how the song is just very guitar heavy and doesn't really kind of build in layers. It's just kind of one sort of very full layer, guitar layer through the whole song. On the other hand, user, I can't be asked reading the rest of that out, says that I was completely wrong. Defo didn't experience the mid-90s. Good mix of Seahorses guitar and Stone Roses melody. Poetically simple lyrics, fantastic. And you'd be correct, I think I was about 4 years old when Definitely Maybe was released. But I feel like I know a good song when I hear one, like many of you. Poetically simple lyrics, I'm not too sure. I don't think you can call listing out the colours of the rainbow poetic. Poetic to me suggests that there's some sort of intricately woven underlying meaning to the lyrics, and I just don't really get that from this song. Gavin Miller 461 says, meaningless words, like an awful nursery rhyme and completely underwhelming. Great guitar vibe, and the lyrics seem to be a piss take. I agree with you, mate. So you can see it's a really split fan base. So the reviews seem to resonate with many of you, but as I said, there was one thing I didn't really talk about much, which was the production and the way that the song was recorded and put together, which even I'm a bit surprised by, because that's kind of what fascinates me the most about music. It's how it's made, and it's why I make music at home and share the process with you. It's just the best part of music in my opinion. And one thing that James Hargreaves did mention in his review video was that the new song Just Another Rainbow sounds like it was produced in a traditional manner. The song sounds like a 4-piece rock band, and it doesn't sound overproduced. I mean, when you look at the back sleeve, there are only 4 people listed as musicians on the actual single. You have Liam on vocals, John Squire on guitar, Joey Waronker on drums, and Greg Kurstin, bass and keys. Super producer Greg Kurstin, who's produced Gorillaz, Foo Fighters, Miley Cyrus, Adele, the list just goes on. And that's it. A really intimate affair in the studio, it seems. One thing that James mentioned in his video was how sparse the instrumentation sounded, in the sense that there only looks to be 1 guitar part or 2 at a push, with some parts being doubled. 1 bass track, 1 drum track, and then vocals. It sounds like a band, and it's not been overproduced, like a lot of modern day songs from bands are nowadays. In the present day, we obviously don't have the same technological limitations that we did in the 90s. We don't have a finite number of effects inserts to play with. I mean, if I wanted to record 50 guitar overdubs for a particular part in my next single, I could theoretically just go and do that. Although I'm not sure it would be the best idea, but you get the point that James is trying to make. It takes confidence and restraint. Go in, record your parts, and then just leave it there, resisting the temptation to popify the recording. James also goes on to say that because of this, the song can easily be performed live. And I would actually take this point even further. Have you ever listened to a great sounding rock record on Wax or on Spotify, and then gone to see the band live, felt almost confused by the sound of the recording, and the sound of the live band, because I have. Now, these days it won't come as a shock that you can actually recreate a lot of what you do in the computer live, but I've also seen many bands create stuff in the studio that just doesn't translate properly to live, and you're left scratching your head a little bit. I think the great thing about Liam and John's new collaboration is that whatever we hear on the record, you can bet your bottom dollar that's what it will sound like live, if not better. And that's where Liam and John shine after all, isn't it? Live. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. We all want to hear this song live, in front of a big crowd, with everybody listing the colours of the rainbow back to Liam, just in case he forgot. Now, the lyrics are also a really big talking point, and probably the part of the song that most fans have a problem with. But what I came to learn is these aren't actually Liam's lyrics, they're John's lyrics, which actually kind of changes everything for me. It changes my opinion of the song, in the sense that I'm now coming into the song with different expectations than I previously had. John's writing has always been like this, and it's very reminiscent of some of the Stone Roses lyrics also. So in terms of my expectation for the album, if John's writing all the songs, then it's going to be a very different sounding album to what I initially went into this song thinking. I think it'll end up sitting more in the Stone Roses corner than the Liam Gallagher / Oasis legacy corner, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just something that I wasn't expecting. One thing that is pretty cool is that Liam looks like he might actually have a shot at the #1 spot on the official charts. We have the chance to try and push this song up, so if you haven't gone and bought the record, do so. And although it might not be my favourite song from Liam post Oasis, how good would it be to see a proper British rock and roll tune back in the #1 spot? And I can't think of anyone else apart from Liam that actually looks like they're going to achieve that anytime soon. Liam genuinely has a shot at this, so let's all get behind him. So yeah, James Hargreaves did change my mind about Just Another Rainbow. I have a bit more respect for this song because of that. And when you think about it in terms of the production and how the song was put together, when you keep a recording that's sparse, those individual parts have to be solid. Like there's no hiding behind any sort of clever effects and that kind of thing, especially when you have only 4 musicians contributing to the song. So regardless of whether you like the song or not, I do think great musicianship has been displayed on this new one, and it shouldn't go unnoticed. And in case you didn't know, we do have a 10-track album from Liam and John coming at some point in the future. 8 of the songs are finished and 2 are still being worked on, according to Liam. And I don't think there's any word to date of when we'll actually get to hear this finished album. But yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments if your opinion on the song has changed in the past week. Has it grown on you? And are you impressed by the fact that it looks to have been produced in quite an old-fashioned and traditional way, rather than a multi-layered, modern, popified production? Let me know in the comments below. Shameless plug, my new single All In is out on all streaming platforms. Would mean the world to me if you could take a listen and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And with that said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new and for more content like this, and if you are interested in watching some more of my videos, including my initial review of this song if you haven't watched it already, then I will leave a link on the screen to a few videos that you might want to watch next. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.